Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everybody. Jesus thinks you're a jerk. So, welcome to another video. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. And today's flight will take us from Budapest in Hungary to Bologna in Italy. We're standing here at the Budapest Ferenc Liszt International Airport, and then we'll be flying to the Bologna Guglielmo Marconi Airport in Bologna, Italy. We are using real-world time and real-world weather. We are flying today the Boeing 737-700 PMDG with Ryanair livery and callsign. And we're parked here at the apron, or at the ramp. Now I might have forgotten. Let me just. Well, we'll see this in a sec. There's an Air Serbia behind us, next to us there, to remind us of some good times. So anyway, let's just hop on in. We will also be using GSX for immersion, and we're using the Aerosoft Simple Traffic tool. That's one of the reasons why you can see an Air Serbia standing there parked next to us, and there's some Wizz Airs there and some other relatively local airliners, as opposed to like Orbit Airlines and those Microsoft airliners that don't really mean a thing. So yeah, let's just get on in, and I think if we just switch over like this, there you go. So we are. So let's what is that? So let's see the. Let's maybe just sit down. Have a lot better view. I want it to look tough, but why? Well, that's emergency exit lights. That's the batteries. So yesterday something funny happened here. So let's just align. There's on DC nav, and then it goes to align mode. Align is on DC and nav, and that should also go to align mode. Well, hopefully this is a lot better than the situation we were faced with yesterday. It looks about 8 minutes are required to start this up. We should have ground power available. So let's turn on the ground power. Turn on the local lights, the anti-collision lights, and then some of the overhead panel lights. So the aircraft does not appear to be doing a whole lot yet, although we do have the FMC here. So let's check here. We request the flight plan. Departure weather 3305 knots, 7 degrees 1035. Looks like it's quite a nice day here in Hungary. It's, at least it's sunny, the open skies, it's a little bit fresh, 7 degrees centigrade, but at least it's not wet. So let's open the GSX menu.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Oh man. Let's see if we can just request boarding anyway. We're parked at Romeo 220. So we might have to enter that in here in a bit. Position initialization.
Boarding requested.
And the gate was Romeo 220. Always interesting to see whether it recognizes it or not. And it does, that's always nice. Route, so we just request it. We set payload and we set fuel and we select the route. We got kilograms 6.1. Got some more panel lights going.
Do you want to board crew?
I want to board both.
Crew bus is coming.
Alright, crew bus is on their way. So we load the flight plan now into the FMC. It is uploading.
Pilot's boarding starting.
So we'll look outside. There's the crew arriving. But it's pretty cool with the GSX, right? You can actually see the animations. It's pretty cool.
Crew boarding starting.
Alright. So we activate the route and we execute. And then we go to the departure and arrival. Let's have a look at what they have in store for us. We go to the operational flight plan. We have cost index 5, cruising altitude 380, average wind 074062. And then we have 6.1 block fuel, that's correct,
Your
and we have
cruising bus is coming.
2.9 are on the final reserves. Now the routing will out of runway 31 right via the DUZLA to Romeo departure. 31 right, let's have a look at the weather again. 330 for sale, that seems to make sense. Okay, that's good. So 31 right, DUZLA to Romeo. So first you select 31 right, and you DUZLA to Romeo, and just execute.
Passengers boarding starting.
So are we actually going to see the passengers? Looks like it. they are not really moving, are they? Let's leave them. So then we go to the arrival for Bologna. And, they're expecting the LUMAV 3 Whiskey, runway 30. Again, let's check the weather. 290, so 30 seems to make sense. Okay.
Hello.
So LUMAV 3 Whiskey, runway 30. We do have an ILS, always nice. Was it LUMAV 3 Whiskey, I believe, right? Let me just check here. LUMAV, yeah, LUMAV 3 Whiskey.
Welcome on board.
So execute.
This way.
So now we're looking at the flight plan. On the legs page, there might be some discontinuity, but we'll have a look at that later. And then we can go to the inner draft. So 0 fuel weight. We have 6.1 kilograms of fuel with us.
Hello.
Cost index was 5
Welcome on board.
and cruising was 380. And cruising wind was 0745062.
This way.
And the reserves was 2 point something. Let's make that 2.9er. 2.9er on the reserve fuel. And let's just double check. So we have cost index 5, cruising 380,
Your boarding pass.
cruising wind 07462. 2.9er, 6.1. Then we have
Hello.
380 right here. Cruising altitude, cost index 5, that's the one right there. And the wind 074 at 062. So that appears to be okay.
Hello.
So we execute it.
Good afternoon.
The N1 limit. Performance tool. Import from OFP, import from aircraft, import
Your
weather.
boarding pass. This way.
They're using actually, well, we'll see that later. And the runway would
Welcome on board.
be 1 right.
This way, please. Hello.
So we calculate.
This way, please.
Takeoff 1 at 47 degrees gives us 132, 133, 136. So takeoff 1 at 47 degrees. Let's go ahead and enter that.
Hello.
47 degrees. And takeoff 1D rate. It gives us 87.5. That is not quite the same. Takeoff
Hello.
will be a flap 1 takeoff.
Hello.
And then we will trim for 5.6. And the runway length is 121.
Hello. Boarding pass, please.
132, 133, 136. That actually appears to be okay.
This way, please.
So it looks like the FMC has been set up now. Obviously, the passengers are still boarding.
This way.
So there's time.
Good afternoon.
There you can actually see the passengers walking. That's always cute. See if you can go showcase and look from this angle. Hungary looks cute. Has an EasyJet. We still have the Air Serbia parked next to us. Yes, we do.
Good afternoon.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Let's request catering service as well.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Hello. Hello. May I see your boarding pass? Hello.
Your depot can be turned on now.
This way, please.
You can also maybe start up the APU.
This way, please. Welcome on board. This way, please. Welcome on board. Hello. Welcome on board.
We set the cruising altitude 380. The cabin pressurization. And then the landing elevation
Welcome on board.
3056. Let's cheat and press the B button sometimes
Passengers
just
bus
to
is
wake up.
coming.
So we can put that on 500, the landing elevation, in case we need to return to base. Alright. APU is ready. Let's start the, turn on the APU bleed. And we'll switch over to APU generators, so that we can disconnect the ground power unit.
Passengers boarding starting.
Yeah, so that's good fun, looking around and seeing everybody. I think I know this guy from another aircraft get back to business.
Hello.
Although having fun is a lot of the business as well. So we have everything set up here in the FMC.
May I see your boarding pass?
Let's turn on the flight directives. Let's set flight level 380.
Good afternoon. Hello.
I believe yesterday I actually forgot to engage LNAV and VNAV.
Hello.
See if we can right now. Does not want to engage LNAV, could be that we're not on an approach path.
Hello.
Although,
Good afternoon.
can't you hear me back to differ? We'll leave this for a bit, that's okay. We dial in 136 here in the window.
Welcome on board. May I see your boarding pass?
I think we'll have to wait with starting the engines till we actually perform the pushback.
Hello. Welcome on board. Boarding pass, please. Hello.
Our landing runway should now be runway 30.
Good afternoon.
Let's go get the charts.
Welcome on board.
Let's actually go arrival and we have the LUMAV whiskey arrival. So let's pin that. And for the final approach,
May I see your boarding pass?
ILS or localizer runway 30. Put a pin in that as well. Let's also have a look at the airport. We can see like, you know, which side do we vacate after touchdown. Okay, boarding has been completed. So runway 30. We'll vacate to the left. So we'll have a look at these charts a little more in depth later on. So for now, I guess let's just get going. Let's quickly have a look at the departure chart. We're at the DUZLA. Sure which DUZLA. Here. The DUZLA 2 Romeo. That's the last one, is this one. DUZLA 2 Romeo, let's have a look at that. I believe this is RNAV departure. Quite popular these days. So, Budapest, Hungary, airport elevation 500, DUZLA 2 Romeo, RNAV departures runway 31 right. This will be our runway, so after takeoff, let's see, max 230 knots, we turn left to a heading of 200 degrees, and we will have the DUZLA, this one. It's basically just a bunch of waypoints. There's nothing much to it. See if there's anything else we can do with GSX. Otherwise, I think we'll just get ready for a pushback. Catering service completed. The boarding is completed. I guess we're good to go. So I guess we should remove the stairs and everything. So let's stay prepared for pushback and departure. See if the stairs get auto removed. It looks like it. You see the doors are closing. We'll probably see these two little stairs push away and then drive off. Drive off into the sunset.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Right, well, so are we. Now, let's see where we need to go.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
3-1 right. This is 3-1 left. And 3-1 right. Really, that's all the way over here. All right, sir. So that will be Alpha 9er. Basically, how do we get on the Alpha taxiway there? And we can just go here. So we push back the nose to the right, and then we just follow Whiskey 1, Whiskey 2, Papa 2, Papa 3, and then on to maybe one further, Papa 3, Lima, and then we turn right on Lima onto Alpha 7. From Alpha 7 we'll just continue on. So it's not as complicated as I'm making it out to be. So push back with the nose to the right. That's basically what we'll remember for now. Nose to the right, tail to the left. So I have to remove the chocks.
Release parking push, please. All engines clear. Start at will.
Right, so let's start up engine number 2. Bayer Serbia. Copy that. So parking brake's been set. Now we start up engine number 1. We wait for the N2 percentage to reach high enough. But usually I go around 20. And then we introduce the fuel. Alright, so that's us. 2 running engines. So let's get this bird in the sky, as they say. Engines 20.5, 20.5. So now we can confirm good engine start. And then they will release the tow. Confirm good engine
Cockpit to
start.
ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Okay, so now the engines have started up. Let's go auto brake to eject the takeoff, and we select flap 1. Let's also go to TARA. And let's not forget the trim, 5.5-ish. You know, like on a scale like that, there is no real decimals going on, right?
Unlocking gear.
Next, we will also now switch over to the main generators. We do not need the APU anymore. We turn off the APU bleed as well. Turn on the packs.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
There you go.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
So this little message here, this little light comes with the verified takeoff speed. So we just verify them again. 132 V1 speed, rotate 133, and then V2 speed is 136 knots. And we dialed in 136 here as well. Turn on traffic mode here on the navigational display. Alright, we see you. Copy that, man. Thank you so much. See you sometime later. Goodbye, Air Serbia. So let's turn on the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights as well. And I guess we're good to go. So parking brake released. Just add a little bit of thrust, like around 30% N1, just to get it rolling. Looked to me like the parking brake was released, doesn't it? Okay, just needed a little bit more juice, I guess. You always have to be a little bit careful with the jet blasts when you're like on the apron, because there's a lot of energy coming off the backside there of the engine. So usually you're not really allowed to go like full power. You can do it later, like on a taxiway. That's okay. But usually on the apron, I believe it is considered not very safe, and therefore probably also not very social. Alright, but we are taxiing. We're on our way. We're doing 5 knots, so that's peanuts. Let's quickly have a peek at what we're doing. So we're following Whiskey 1 onto Whiskey 2, and then we'll take a right onto Papa 2, Lima, and there we take a right, and then it's basically there. Something does feel off. I don't know if you can see the aircraft appears to be jumping around a little bit. It might just be the ground here. Not really sure. Always a little bit scary when flight simulators sometimes take the taxiways like way too close to the airplanes. Right, we finally got some sort of decent speed going on, 19 knots ground speed. And let's have another look real quick. Alright. And I guess we'll take this one here to the right. check. Looks okay, I guess. Yep. So it looks like a nice day here in Budapest today, 7 degrees. A bit cold, but at least there's sun. I'm not sure about Italy, where we're going, Bologna. We do have the weather report here to the left, so we'll check that out later. So we're going a little fast. Should try to always maintain like 30 knots of ground speed. We were peaking there at 37 or 38. That is a little bit high. So that's us then from the outside. We follow Alpha 8, Alpha 9, and we are holding at Victor. So if everything is okay, let's check the cabin crew. Cabin crew, take your seats for takeoff. We're overspeeding a little bit again. So if there's no traffic, I guess we can just clear ourselves to go ahead and take off. Let's turn on the landing lights and the position probe and ready. Engine start selectors both go into continuous. We have the auto brake to RTO. We have the flaps on the one setting. I guess we're clear. Let's try to stay on the center line. It's a bit of a challenge, you know, when you're doing it in a simulator on your own, and you know you only have like your mouse or controller or both, or your keyboard. It gets a little bit much sometimes to be two places at the same time. So there's always a fair share of distraction going on. Looks clear on the approach side, so let's just get ourselves onto the runway. And let's do a rolling takeoff. We have flight directors on, auto thrusters armed. Let's see if we can now arm the lateral navigation. No, doesn't want to take it yet. That's fine, we can fly beginning manually. So we turn on the timer, go to 50% N1, and then we'll let the engines settle there. And then once they're settled, we select the takeoff thrust, and here we go. So a bit of a forward pressure on the stick.
Airspeed's alive.
Until about 80 to 100 knots. This is to keep us 80 knots. So releasing the forward pressure. Standing by for a V1 and for a rotate.
V1.
Rotate. Got a positive relate. Gear up.
Positive rate of climb.
So for now, let's just follow the flight director there. So that's us taking off with the Ryanair 737-700 from Hungary, Budapest. Putting the nose down a little bit here. Let's see if we can engage the autopilot, and there it's good. And it also has lateral navigation, so that's good news. Alright, so we're on our way. Flaps can go up. Let's turn off the runway turn off lights and the taxi lights. So this is Budapest by day. So yesterday we ran into a problem where after takeoff the autopilot would not engage, and it would, instead of confirming CMD, it would say FD for flight director. And so there was a problem with the ILS, the navigational systems, and we had to do all kinds of funny things. Finally got it to work, but we flew the thing all the way to flight level 350 manually. But there was at some stage no navigation possible at all. Couldn't even see where we were going, so that was interesting. But we were able to fix it with the PMDG settings. We basically loaded a panel state that was applicable to cruise, and then fortunately everything started working, or like resetting it again. Not really sure what happened. Something went wrong in the beginning when powering up the aircraft, and we selected the navigational systems right here. They're all on off, and then you go align nav, and with the second one something was wrong, and the lights weren't making sense, so we got that fixed. Alright, 3 minutes into the flight, speed 250, and we're passing 10,000 feet, so let's turn off the landing lights as well. And what's our attitude? We're below 10 degrees, so we can also release the passengers, I guess. And let's also go to standard barometric pressure now. So it will not be very short, will not be a very long flight. Drop of climbs coming up there. And we check here on the descent page. 1327 Zulu will be the top of descent. Over they hide the clock. So that's in about 30 minutes. And when do we reach the 7? Yeah, so basically we'll be cruising for like 20 minutes, you know. So it's not a whole lot, but this gives us just enough time to prepare for the landing, the descent, the final approach. And there's always some interesting things that we have to enter. So let's go to the electronic flight back here. Go to the charts. This was the departure chart. Let's go pin and to the arrival of the LUMAV whiskey. So for Bologna, Italy, Lima, India, Papa Echo. That's the correct airport. And this is the LUMAV 3 whiskey arrival. That's ours. We'll be coming from LUMAV 3 whiskey, so we'll take this. So basically, we're not to go below 4,000 feet at this point. And then it's just an RNAV approach, actually. That's fine. You see these quite often, these square-shaped RNAV approaches. It's sometimes it may look like the zigzag pattern, you know. And then this is basically so that the air traffic control can create some space between aircraft. So when it's busy, they'll probably have all the aircraft flying all the points. But when it's not that busy, ATC might tell you to go from this waypoint and then skip like to, let's say there's another waypoint here. You can skip a few. And that's usually what they're used for. And so in some cases you can actually like go zigzag to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. If it's busy enough, they will just have you flying the whole thing. Alright, so this is not too important for us now. I want to have a look at the approach chart. So that's the ILS runway 30. At Bologna, never hurts to check. The ILS there is frequency 109.75. 109.75. We enter it in the standby box, transfer, and it's now in the nav1 radio. And it should also appear on the primary flight display in the top left corner. You should see it there, but there's no designator yet, but that's because we're too far out. And the heading, the final approach heading will be 2904. Just dial that here in the course window. Alright, so what we're looking at, N1 LNAV VNAV speed, 271, 22,800. On our way to DUZLA, where we're arriving about now. Let's zoom in a little bit. Alright, so let's carry on. The glide slope will start at 3,000 feet. So basically, once we reach our cruising altitude of 380 and we're starting the cruise, we will immediately change this value there to 3,000 in anticipation of the aircraft dropping its nose once it flies over the top of climb waypoint, if you will. Alright, so 3,000 feet, and this will start at 8.1 nautical miles from BOA and 7.8 nautical miles from the ILS. So 7.8. Okay. Excuse me. Just navigate some things here. And by 1 second. Because we're also streaming. Alright, there you go. So, yeah, what we're going to do. Let's go to the legs page. And we'll get to our runway. That's runway 30. Copy it into the scratch pad, go to the fix page, paste it there, and then the radio will be 114, which is the reciprocal of our final approach course heading. So 114, and the distance I believe was 7.8 from the ILS, 7.8 nautical miles. So we get this nice little ring around it. You cannot see it now, but if you go to the planning page, you will see it when we go to the legs page and you follow the step button here. So DIMLO, BARPI, MONFA, and so on. And there you go. There you can see it already coming to view. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's carry on. That's giving us a left turn basically, and then this is exactly the RNAV approach that we saw on the chart, so that looks good. And here here we have the extended runway center line just for a visual aid, you know. And then the glide slope should start there. So that's why that ring there is just a nice little extra, you know, reminder or whatever. I like to call it situational awareness. Alright, so that is in. I believe actually there are no discontinuities, which is good. The roll waypoints, there's no vectors. There's an intercept there that is after this for your go around. So I think we're good. So yeah. So let's change back to map display. Zoom out a little bit. So top of climb coming up. 30,000 feet. Let's have a look outside. Look at all the planes in the sky there, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, there's probably even more. There you go. So that's our beautiful little chubby girl. The 737-700. And I do have the HOTS for the 737-600, but it's still like 35 euros, and I already have this one, you know. So basically, you're spending all that money for like a couple of meters shorter aircraft. But I might do it, you know. What can I say? It's a weakness, a disease. But so far I've been holding off for quite a while actually. Alright, so on our way to the cruise, let's have another look. Look at some more things like the radio altitude. For the decision, let's see, 2904, glide slope. It says here glide slope starts at 1622. 3,000. I'm gonna go for 3,000. I'm not really sure. You localizer. Not really sure why they say that. Anyway, yeah. So the glide slope actually seems to start at a little bit later. Maybe we can enter that as well. So we have 2 rings just to make it interesting. So one value will be 4. So we go back to the fix page. We can use the same fix for that. We do not have to create a new fix. We just add another ring to it. So 114 and then just /4. And that gives us the I think the point where the yeah, well, basically where the glide slope starts. So the radio altitude refer to minimums. Airport elevation, let's set that for 100. And then the minimums, transition altitude 6,000. I guess we could go for, I'm not really sure which categories these all are. I guess if we choose like 200, it should be fine. In any case, that's what I'm going to do. So select radio altitude. And we put that on 200. You can see that here in the lower right corner of the primary flight display. Radio 200. So most of the things are basically already set up. We could also go to the INFF page and decide on our flap settings. So we'll do flap 40. And it gives us a final approach speed of 130 plus 5 for wind correction is 135 while being fully configured with flaps to 40 degrees. We're 1,000 feet from our cruising altitude. We're about to start the cruising phase. Although we should now be in cruise then. So let's bring the altitude in the box down to 3,000 feet. Or maybe actually we go to 1,600. Like that. Already put in the course, heading to 904. So descent will be at 1326 Zulu. So it's in about 18 minutes. So there you see, in that sense it's a very short flight. It's basically 18 minutes of cruising and then you already start your descent. But it's nice. I like to do short haul flights. You know, you have some action bound more closely together, you know. And an occasional long haul on the channel. Usually I just go sleep, obviously. I'm not going to sit there and talk to myself for 8 hours. But nonetheless, it's cool. It's nice to do, and it's always nice then when you actually touch down after like 8 hours or something, you know. We're having a tailwind. Standing by to turn left from DIMLO to BARPI. Hydraulic A system and hydraulic B system. Hydraulic A has a little less quantity, a little more pressure. I have no clue what that means. Let's go back to the engine status page. I believe that is probably that green dot there, probably the top of descent. Just looking for a better camera view here, camera angle. That's the top of descent right there, about 100 miles or so. Have sunscreen on the front. How does this work again? Been flying quite a number of aircraft lately, and I've noticed that sometimes I'm beginning to get a little bit confused. Yeah, that should be okay. I know the Airbus has some really nice sunshades. We got our VREF speed here as well for landing, the approach speed, I should say. 130, and it should say 135 on the flight plan. Taking those 5 extra knots into account for the wind correction, so that's 135, so it's reflected right there. 3,000 or above. BARPI 370. .344, 147, and then all of a sudden we jump down to 4,000 feet or above. Yeah, so let's go to Bologna, Italy. Trying to do a smooth camera view here. That's enough of that. So fuel is 4.3. And when we arrive, I think we have 3.6. I'm not really sure what this means. Oh, that can't be it. Let's see if we can get some descent winds. That would be cool. Where is it on the descent page? Forecast. Request. Let's go to request some winds. It's taking a little while to load. And then the forecast uplink is ready, and then you can load it into the system. And we execute it. Now, if we go to the descent page, nothing really has changed, I think. Still 1326. Partly we need to be at 362. Earlier it was 370, I believe. Maybe this is the reason that it changed. But I'm not too sure about that. mean, how cool is it to have an aircraft, a Microsoft Flight Simulator, that knows more than you? You know what I mean? That's just so cool. That means that there's a lot to learn. And learning is always nice. Learning is what makes us wise. So we don't have to resort to lies and fake little stories about our lives. Hosted by beautiful housewives. So 27 minutes into the flight, cruising flight level 380 on standard barometric threshold. Still following VNAV and LNAV, the FMC speed. Top of descent is coming closer. And what's really cool, if it's following top of descent, you don't have to do anything. It will just go down, as long as you select an altitude that's lower than the current one. I'll step off and into the galley. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are again. So 7 minutes away from our top of descent. Let's now go ahead and check the weather at Bologna airport. Issued on the 26th, 12:50 Zulu, wind 300 at 6 knots. So that's a 6 knot straight on headwind, variable, varying between 270 and 340. Excuse me. Temperature 8 degrees, UNH 1032. Maybe we can start dialing 1032 in. That's in, okay. Alright, so we got that as well. But we will keep on checking the weather. Does not look like it's going to change a lot. Issued at 12:50. So we should, if it's like 2 hourly, we should actually expect a new weather report any moment now. See the extended runway center line there already. We're already getting closer for sure. There's LUMAV, which is part of our arrival as well. So basically we're flying straight in, I believe, and then taking a left turn and then just go like that. If that mouse movement makes any sense to a person watching. Alright. Top of descent coming up in about 4 minutes. Speed restriction 240. That is okay if that's 250 actually. So we got some snow going on there, and then there is the sea. That looks nice. Minutes into the flight, 3 minutes away from the top of the set. Let's zoom in one step. So the landing lights are off. I'm going to turn off lights, taxi lights. Landing altitude 100. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's check the weather. 1250 Zulu. At 1250 Zulu 3006 knots. 1032. Okay. Top of descent is near. About 1 minute. There it's coming on a little top of descent, descending on a vertical line on our navigational display. It's quite funny to see that little thing come. There you go. Retard. We're descending. Then next up is BARPI, 6 nautical miles. MONFA. Then LUMAV. Then LUMAV LUMAV is like a little further out. And then we're basically at the airport. Curious to see if there's a new weather update, man. Nope, 1250 still. We refresh it here, maybe. No, sorry, Bob. So this appears to be like a really simple approach. Basically, it's just geometric straight lines or corners or angles, I should say. That is so cool, man. And looks like it's leaning to the wind. And I believe we were having a tailwind. And since they're coming from the right to the left, I guess it probably actually makes sense. So it's pretty cool. Looks like a really nice day here. Well, let's keep it descending like this with 30,000. Not going too crazy. I'll step out for just a little minute and I'll be right back. we are again. Finally descending. Looks like a very beautiful day here. So let's zoom in a little bit. $26,500. Some other traffic. Let's see if there's a weather update now. 12:50. There you go. 13:20. 13:20, but we only see it like 15 minutes after that. 2806 knots. 260. 320. Okay, 08 degrees. 032. So not a lot of changes. This is fine. We can accept this. After landing, I believe we vacate the runway to the left. Yeah, so we will exit to the left. And then is there any particular place where we should go maybe? Probably not. Probably not to do it. We'll probably exit via here or here. And then just go back. There's apron 2, 1. E3, D1, right. That's all good. So we're still on the descent profile. We have a radio altitude 200, 109.75 at 294. I would like to have the approach chart here with me for a bit. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Let's put in the BOA VOR as well. So that goes in the nav2. You'll see that right here. It's actually receiving the signal. And it's pointing at it right there. Still okay on the descent profile here. Maybe it's time we strap in the passengers. So the closer we get, we can zoom in obviously, we can see now what we can expect. It's a very simple way to line up. So that's good, it's nothing too complicated. But the go-around does have the VOR involved. So it would require you to lead the VOR. You can hear me cycle already. Misapproach, you proceed on back heading of 294, climb to 4,000 feet, and then add 3.9 DME after IBBP, which is the localizer, and 3.5 after BOA. You turn right, max speed 220 knots, and then you intercept the radial 045 out of BOA VOR until 14 nautical miles to join MIFBO holding. And the aircraft will probably fly this itself, I think, but obviously the challenge would be to do such a thing manually. So what they're saying at let's say after 3.5 DME after BOA, so we have the DME right there, which is now decreasing. It will obviously increase once you fly past it. So that is it should reach 3.5, and probably here it should reach the DME for the ILS, which they were mentioning here, 3.9. After that point, you make a right turn and you make sure your speed is maximum of 220 knots. You turn right and you intercept the 045 radial from BOA, so the Bologna VOR. So look, it's this one right here. That should take you to MIFBO. Okay. There you have a holding pattern. I think this is actually all programmed in. So you should be touching down runway 30, D114D, then intercept 045 radial, 220 or below. Right, man, these are interesting things, but for now we are not going to concern ourselves too much with those small steps. We got some better view of the scenario. I'm zooming in just a little bit more, and then we'll see it come into view later on again. 15,000 feet. We have the APU started. Passengers are strapped in. Let's set the brake to 1. And let's wait with arming the spoilers maybe, but then for the rest, we're good, I guess. And that blue line here is the missed approach procedure. So you fly, if you follow the mouse, you fly like this, you try to land, but then you do a go around. After 3.5 nautical miles from BOA, you take a right turn. You try to go onto a 045 degree radial, which should be this one. I'm not sure. This is actually, this is the one. This is the radial. This line here. This is to, I believe that's to a heading of 200. Look again. Okay, I'm just gonna stop confusing myself. We're a little bit below the profile actually now. So yeah, we have the latest range. We have the wind, basically to be a headwind. Giggity. And we got the radio, telemeters, E-speed. We've got it all, man. Standing by for a left turn. comes our turn. And now all of a sudden we are a bit high on the profile. Alright, so what's happening here? Papa Echo 2908 in 5 nautical miles. Here we have the 2 range rings. And basically the glide slope will start at the smaller, the inner ring, this one. After DE 928, we have DE 920, and then we'll take a right turn. At that point, we should be 3,000 feet or above, but not below. And then comes DIMLO, 3,000 feet or above, at 1348, which is in 3 minutes. Actually turn on the landing lights since you are below 10,000 feet. I'm also going to turn on the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights there as well. Passengers are strapped in, the crew can still walk around. What does this say? It does look like we're a little bit high, so I'm going to add some drag here. The speed brakes. So 6,000 feet, so let's switch over to local barometric pressure, taking the turn to the right now. It looks like we're a little bit high still. Speed now should be 210 or below, so I was hoping to the speed is there, and it looks like it's doing it. I'm going to turn on the localizer. That's been armed in white. I guess we can, yeah, we can release the brake. I'm going to arm it. I'm gonna go for the flap 1 position, or 1 degree of flap. So I'm gonna see if I can record a replay of the landing. Localizer captured. We're below the glide slope. I'm gonna go for flap 2 degrees. And see if then the speed will come down. There you go. 4,000 feet. I think we have the runway in sight. So let's arm the approach. So glide slope is armed in white, and that will change over to green, and we'll say it right there. We have the ME 9.6 nautical miles. I think flap 5 degree is acceptable now. It should bring us to a speed of 160 knots, for about. Eight nautical miles. We got the radio altimeter on as well. So now we're standing by for glide slope capture. And further decelerating of the plane. Distance 5 nautical miles. I'm dropping the gear. Cabin crew, take your seats for landing. Speed 10 degrees, flaps 10 degrees. We are on the glide slope now. I'm going 140 knots. Just double check now. Should be 135.
1,000.
So we're a little bit late to be fully configured now. Still fairly high speed. We are dropping for sure. But maybe just choose to go for a auto brake setting 2. I'm going flap full. engage the autopilot. And keep her coming down.
Approaching minimums.
We have a beautiful view of the runway.
Minimums.
A little bit low.
100.
Let's do this.
50. 30.
Idle.
20.
Flare.
10.
That was a bit of a high flare. Might have bounced. That was a bounce for sure. Alright, reverse is out. It's a good thing we chose the auto brake for the number 2 setting. Flaps can come up. Yeah. Speed brake can come up as well. And a little bit of toe braking. And welcome to Bologna, Italy, everybody. Turn off the landing lights. It was an interesting landing. And I think I would know what I was trying to do actually. Like, I was trying to settle down like really smooth and to maybe like I overflared a little bit, obviously. Here we are then in Italy, and here as well it's a beautiful day. Totally clear skies, not a cloud to be seen. Just like we love it. There's a Wizz Air. Okay, so let's lean up a little bit. There's another Ryanair, KLM. I think that's also Ryanair. Would this be a parking spot as well? Let's take that. Let's stop her right here. So again, welcome to Bologna. Hope you enjoyed the flight. And maybe we can see now if we can do some of the replays, but I'm not really sure about the camera. Because it might still... Let's see, I think we're going to break this, so hang on 1 second. See what I mean?
Pull up.
And this is gonna crash it, so yeah, so no replay, unfortunately. But nonetheless, thank you very much for checking, and everybody stay funky. See you the next time. Bye bye.